Hi, I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rachel. We're two Canadians living on our 39-foot mainship trawler, living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel 6,000 miles through Canadian and U.S. waterways around America's Great Loop. Well, good morning.
Good morning. We're going again.
Yeah, we've been at Green Turtle at Bluff House Marina for 3 nights, and it was great because we did have some really bad rainstorms and lots of wind.
We did.
And it's still a little windy today, but we're still going to head out, so we're heading northwest. Yeah.
Northwest towards the U.S. So it may get apparently a little rolly, but we'll see. We had a boat go yesterday, and they gave us a report, so we'll see what we experienced. There's 2 other boats I think we'll pick up along the way. And we're going to anchor out tonight in, again, Great Sale. Been there before. The wind is good for being there. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, we're going to head off to West End area. So there's probably another anchorage we're going to head off to. And then we're going to wait, hopefully not too long, for a passage across to the U.S. So that's our game plan today, right now. Could change.
Yeah, it could change. We'll see what happens. So Come along for the journey and hope you're having a great day. We had a couple of good days at Green Turtle Cay, had a great visit with our friends, and managed to survive some storms and strong winds, and we're on our way today. And actually our headsets work. We thought one of them wasn't working, but we think maybe it lost the pairing with the master headset, so it's all good. Everything is working now. We can talk to each other, which makes it so much easier on this size of boat to not be yelling at each other. Anyway, we're on our way today. The waters are a little bit wavy, and we're hoping that we have a relatively smooth ride to Great Sale Cay as we head back towards the United States. This is our first stop before we get to West End, and it will be probably close to 7 hours altogether, depending on how much of a push we get from the wind and the waves. So we'll see how today goes. It might be a little bit rocking and rolling, but hopefully more smooth than rocking and rolling. So I'm just sitting at the upper helm while Malcolm goes down and sets the autopilot course. And once we have that set, we can walk around a little more freely. And we will probably be going for about 7 hours. So it's nice to be able to walk around and stretch the legs and not be stuck in one place. So we're headed back to the United States now, headed in a more kind of northwest direction and getting back onto the Great Loop.
Good afternoon. This is a report from the lower bridge. Today we're on passage, so we're moving along. Typically we're moving at around close to 8 knots today, even though we're running a little lower in RPM. That's because we're getting a push from the tide. We left knowing that we're going to get a bit of tide, and that's helping us. The seas are pretty good. There's more chop than swell, so you can see probably we're getting moved around a little bit. That's just because we're in a following sea, and autopilot, as most autopilots, doesn't like a following sea. So we're letting it go, and it's doing a good job. We're just moving a bit more than if I was hand steering. So we expect to be in at around, let's say, 450 today, and that'll be anchor down. It's been, I think, it'll probably be around 7 hours on passage. And then we're going to anchor tonight. We'll be off towards the west end of the Bahamas tomorrow. And then we'll be anchoring again and prepping for our trip across back to Florida. So it's been a great day, sunny, it's warming up, which is nice. And that's a report from the lower bridge.
We've been going for about 6 hours, and we are approaching Great Sale Cay. And this time we're approaching it around the north end because that was the shortest route from where we came from. When we came to Great Sale Cay originally, when we came to the Bahamas, we went the other way. So it'll be interesting to see this side of the island. So we should be there in about an hour, and it will be about 7 hours altogether this trip. And we're guessing that there's a couple of boats in there, but we'll have a look and see when we get into the anchorage. We're arriving at the anchorage at Great Sale Cay, and there's 2 other boats here. So we're just going to go up a little bit closer and put our anchor down. We've arrived at our destination at Great Sale Cay. It was 57.6 nautical miles, took us just over 7 hours, and we arrived around 5 p.m., one of our latest arrivals. But we are here well before sunset, and this is a great place to anchor before heading over to West End. Good morning from Great Sale Cay. We had a reasonable night here, and the sun is just coming up, and we're preparing to pull up the anchor to head over to West End. It's interesting here, the wave patterns. We are tucked into an anchorage. There's 2 other boats here, and we noticed that the wind and the swell were in different directions last night, so we did have a bit of noise from that and rocking a little bit during the night, starting around 1 a.m. And the wind is starting to go a bit more south now. So probably the swell was kind of wrapping around the island as well. So it's interesting having the swell hitting the boat on the beam and us pointing in a different direction. Anyway, we're getting ready to go, and should be about 6 hours today.
afternoon. This is a report from the bridge. We are on our approach to West End, Bahamas. We hope to spend a night or two here in advance of our crossover to the United States in Florida. So far, very uneventful trip. A little rock and rolly to begin with, but smoothed out after that. We're with one other boat that joined us. They're also looking to do the crossing. We're running at around 1800, running a little higher today. Well, a little higher than perhaps we have been. We're doing around 7.5. We've had bursts of around 8.9 running down some waves, but all in all, a good day. We need to get out and go through a little break here, which is very shallow, which takes us out into the Gulf, and then we'll go back into the marina. So we've got a little bit of handling and maneuvering to do, but I'm sure it'll go well. Once that's done, hopefully we'll be set for the night, and we'll be able to rest and relax in advance of our move across the Gulf. So that is a report from the bridge.
We're on our final approach to Old Bahama Bay at West End, and it's got really, really windy at this point, and we're going through a very shallow area. So we've been negotiating around a couple of different boats and trying to stay in kind of the channel. It's not marked, but it's really what's on the charts, and it gets to about 4 feet below our boat, which is not very much water at all. And so we've been in this waterway for, I think it'll be about 45 minutes, this very shallow area. So fingers crossed we get in without scraping the bottom. And it is a rising tide, so we should be getting higher as we go. But anyway, we'll be in Old Bahama Bay Resort very soon. We just arrived at Old Bahama Bay Resort at West End. It was a good journey, a little rough just coming through the waves and the swell right at the end. But we managed to dock stern in and are here for probably 2 nights till we think we have a weather window. Good journey. I'll put the stats there on the video, and it took us, I think, around 6 hours or so. Anyway, all good. Now we are covered in salt, so we're going to get the hose out, wash down the boat, give it a good scrub.